What is up? We are officially back. Season is starting. Let's go. Mystic in the chat. What up, Mystic? Emil. What's good? Kev. What up, Kev? But yeah, we are ready for week one. We've got start sits, we've got trades, dynasty or redraft tonight. So either or. We're going both. Now that we are into the season, there's going to be a lot more kind of start sit questions. But yeah, if you do have dynasty questions, please specify. If it is Dynasty, let me know the format, of course. But yeah, what y'all got for week one? Do we have like start sit decisions to make already? And of course we do, but you might not. There might be some guys that are injured or not playing the first week, like Hollywood. I should actually go through some of my lineups, and make sure I got everything in order. Because we are, what, 2 days away? Rob, what up, Rob? I've offered Tank Dell and Keon Coleman for McLaurin in redraft. Should I take it? You're getting Tank Dell and Keon Coleman. Yeah, I would take Tank Dell and Keon Coleman over Terry McLaurin if you had to choose. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference in the production there. I know we kind of want McLaurin to be like that wide receiver one or finish as a wide receiver one, which he hasn't yet. Can he? Yeah, for sure. Jaden Daniels could throw the ball around, but you get to have Tank Dell and Keon Coleman. So depending on the rest of your squad, like Tank Dell should be at least a wide receiver three. Keon Coleman, we're hoping is at least a wide receiver two. So really depends on the rest of your team. Do you have other guys on the bench that are just like Tank Dell and Keon Coleman? Or is that actually going to help you? So, like in a nutshell, yes, I'd rather have Terry McLaurin over those two guys, but it depends also who's on your bench, right? Looking through squads, trying to decide taxis. Yeah, yeah, gotta get all the taxis in order. That's the biggest thing right now. I am actually currently kind of doing the same thing. I'm filling up, making sure all my rosters are full, moving around guys into the taxi, opening up extra spots if I can, grabbing some kind of backup bum running backs that are out there. Because guys are going to get hurt and there's other guys that are going to step up and play. Mystic, let me tell you about this 16 team. See, Mystic, I always love the trades you have because you play in a lot of like deeper leagues, 14 team, 16 team, super flex, start 11. Okay, two 2 point tight end premium startup. You're in a startup. You're in now in the 12th round. Okay, so you're in the 12th round already. What is it? What is it looking like, Mystic? What is the squad looking like? I'm hoping you got your quarterbacks because it is a 16 team. I'm in a 10-man PPR league, start three. Pittman, Rice, Nico, Marvin. Redraft, okay. 10-man. We got to start three between Pittman, Rice, Nico, and Marvin. Well, we know Hollywood is out, so it's probably smart to start. Well, it could be smart to start Rice, but at the same time, we're talking about Nico, Pittman, and Marvin. Like that's a tough. That's tough. Let's look at some of the. Let me look at some of the games here. So, Rice is going against the Ravens. That is a pretty good defense. We've got Pittman, Nico, and Marvin. So Pittman against the Texans, and Nico against the Colts, obviously, and then you got Marv against the Bills. That's tough. Do you trust the Ravens defense? Do you go just Nico, Marvin, Pittman? It's hard to not play Rashid Rice, especially after like what he wound up doing last year, especially down the stretch. So I think we're definitely playing. I think we're playing Rashi. We're playing Nico, and then it's between Marvin and Pittman, right? Marvin's a rookie. Pittman, we do have the Russian quarterback situation there. Do you want to wait and see what happens? They are playing the Texans, so that's a good offense. Is that kind of a shootout? I mean, if you're going by ADP, right? I mean, then you're sitting Rice. There are a few different guys over there, so you can make the argument to sit him. Do you sit Marvin the first game? Man, we got tough decisions here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say sit Pittman for game number one. And let's go with Rice, Nico, and Marvin. It is a 10-team league, so can you combine like two of these guys together to get to like the elite level? Because you don't want to choose between that every week. Rob said the other wide receivers are Jefferson, Neighbors, Deontay, Polk. Philip with the membership. Appreciate you, Philip. Always give to memberships. Thank you, Philip. Other wide receivers are Jefferson, Neighbors, Deontay, Polk. How many wide receivers can you start? Like how deep is the league? Is it like start 3 wide receivers? Is there anybody else that needs wide receivers? Can you do like a 3 for 1 for an elite wide receiver? Or does split and Terry and 2 give you like the extra juice to do a 2 for 1 with someone else? 'Cause I'll probably just roll with the Dell and Keon Coleman side, hope that they give Terry production, and then you can use those guys in trades, put together a package to get to one of the elites. Goku said thoughts on Chase situation. Should we be trying to trade for him and at what price? Yeah. I mean, if we're talking dynasty, of course, we're always trying to trade for some of these elite wide receivers. He's going to be expensive. I'm not saying he's going to be cheaper, but he might be available just because of the situation people are scared of. So, I mean, in Dynasty, obviously he's a top wide receiver. You're still talking like probably like 3 first worth, or at least like an early first or 2 early firsts. And if you're talking, I mean, redraft, then yeah, I mean, can you throw a 2 for 1? Right? Kind of like, let's just say Rob's team, right? If you do get Tank Dell and Keon Coleman from it, can you do like Tank Dell, Keon Coleman, and Deontay, and then grab like Jamar Chase with that? Like, can you just overwhelm them with a few wide receivers? But it's all going to depend on that particular team. Because a lot of times it's not about like which player should I get. It's a lot of times it's like, okay, which player is available for me to get, right? What team has a weakness that I can fulfill for them to be able to snag, whatever elite player they have. Mystic said from the 103, Hertz Laporta gave the 314 for the 5.9 and 25 first. Deshaun Watson, Kittle, Joku gave 6.3 for the 9.11 at a 25 first. Okay, so stacking up 25 first. Kirk, Dio, John, Hollywood, Dub, Shakir, Vidal. Okay, not too bad. So you're rolling with Hertz and Deshaun Watson. And you got 225 firsts. Not too bad. What'd you say it was 16 teams? So you got quarterbacks in check. Said it was 2 tight end premium. You got Kittle and Joku and Laporta. So that's actually not bad. I mean, stacking up on the tight ends, but if they're not going to respect the whole extra point on tight ends, I mean, Philip said Deshaun or T Law week 1. All right, let's check out who these guys are. So we got Deshaun against the Cowboys, right? And then T Law against the Dolphins. I'll probably roll with T Law. I mean, Dolphins are a good scoring offense. T-Law should be throwing the football. I mean, I do like Deshaun Watson this particular year just because of the price and like where he's being valued. He wasn't horrible when he actually was healthy last year. He had some top 12 finishes in the games that he played. But I'll roll with T-Law for week 1. Spencer, what up, Spence? What's good, bro? Then I would start Marvin, yeah. I would agree it's going to be hard because the guys in the league don't trust me, think I'm always trying to get over on them. I mean, that's the name of the game. We got to do what we can. Sit 1, appreciate it. Worthy or Shakir? I'm sitting Shakir. I'm playing Worthy over Shakir for this first particular week, right? There is no Hollywood. Worthy is probably going to be like a hit or miss. He's probably either going to catch a bomb or not. They're going to probably try and manufacture some touches for him. But I would roll with Worthy over Shakir. I mean, Shakir's interesting, but appreciate you, Jabril. Emil, is Jerome Ford a viable RB2? Yeah, why not? I mean, there's nobody else really there to take touches from him. We don't know when Chubb is really coming back, and if he does come back, like, is he getting a workload? Probably not. So Jerome Ford should still be viable. I've got Jerome Ford as RB2 in quite a few leagues. Now, is it going to remain that way for the rest of the season? That I don't know, but at least for now, like, yeah, Jerome Ford he's gonna be okay. RB2, RB3, flexish. He should be a top 36 running back. Gavin, what up, Gavin? McLaurin is the Arrested Development meme. A lot of people fool themselves into thinking it will work for them, but maybe it'll work for me. Yeah. Gabriel, hopefully you heard my answer there, but yeah, I would sit Shakir. Let's hear some hot takes. Marv outscoring Chase and Jefferson this year. Elite QB, great coach, great offense. Chase ain't practicing, and Jettis has Darnold. I mean, Jettis has proven that it doesn't really matter the quarterback. He actually averaged, I think, one more point per game when it wasn't Kirk Cousins last year. Chase, I mean, he's got Joe Burrow. I mean, that's an elite connection. I don't know if I can get behind giving a hot take like that. I think it's possible, just not, just unlikely, but wouldn't be a hot take I would get behind. But I can see it. Is Jamar playing week 1? I'm worried. I don't know, Cryptics. I don't know, man. I appreciate you, but yeah, I don't know. I doubt he actually misses an actual game. Hopefully they get it worked out before then. Hopefully they get it worked out tomorrow. Like, I mean, Thursday is pretty much the start of the game, so hopefully they get it tomorrow, but we shall see. I don't think he's going to actually miss the game, but I could be wrong. You never know. Chances are probably low he actually misses a game, but Frank, what up, Frank? What's cracking? Football time. Yep, it is football time, man. We back. We back. Big Bando, what up? What up, Bando? Jay, what's good, Jay? Houston has Stingley top corner. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could throw that into the equation as well. Should I move Aaron Jones for Stevenson out of New England? I mean, not necessarily. It's kind of a lateral move. You're just making a bet on one player over the other. They're kind of the same-ish. Obviously, Jones is in a better offense than what Stevenson is. I tend to like guys in better offenses, but Aaron Jones hasn't really been able to stay healthy lately. He claims he feels the healthiest he has been, this particular season. So we'll see how that goes. But probably just roll with Aaron Jones, unless you're getting something else on top of Stevenson where it makes sense. But could see London finishing. That's a possibility. I mean, with Kirko throwing the ball, start 3 of 4. Neighbors, Chase if he plays, Rashid Rice, Tay Adams. Probably just sit. I'd probably sit Neighbors. See what he can do the first game. You can make the argument for Rice, I guess, but again, it's a good offense. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like Ravens defense is good, but Giants offense is bad. I want to play Tay. I want to play Chase for sure. So I'll play Rice and sit Neighbors for at least this first game, especially with Hollywood not playing. Jay, I wish Minnie would have at least kept Mo Ibrahim on the practice squad. Yeah, I guess not. World of G, what up? What up, Caddy? What's good, Caddy? It's been a while, man. How's your teams turned out? Let me know what's happening. What about Mahomes? Would you move him for Jaden and ETN? No, I'm not moving Mahomes. I mean, I guess for the RB, if it's one QB, right? Who's your other quarterback? Don't really care for Jaden like too much. He's kind of just a flex play at best. I mean, ETN was typically taken in the second round of one QB draft, so you're getting a workhorse RB. Who's your current RBs and the other quarterback you're gonna wind up playing? I really want to start Rice. Yeah, I mean, you're good to play him over Neighbors at least for week one until we kind of see, what the Giants have planned or what they're trying to do. I know Neighbors is a great player, especially coming out, but at the same time, it is week one. So I think that, for me at least, like I can live with not playing him and playing Rashid Rice. People are a little bit sleeping on Ferguson. I love like waiting in drafts and taking Ferguson. I think that Ferguson is basically he's the wide receiver two on the Cowboys. Like he's in for possibly a top 5 season at tight end. So I'm with you, Cryptics. Gavin said this Kyron returning punts is not that serious. Don't stress. I mean, he returned punts last year for a little bit. I think they want to get the ball in his hands. I don't personally like it because it's just more kind of wear and tear on him, I guess. But don't forget, like last year, he played like almost 100% of the snaps most of the games, right? Like it's not a big deal if he goes down to 80, 75% of the snaps. Like he's going to be, hopefully he can stay healthy. He's not taking as many hits. He can be more efficient. So I'm not that, uh, I'm not that worried about Kyron, or what's his name? Blake Corum. You really helped me win the champ, bro, but now the goal is back to back. Let's go. Let's go, Caddy. I'm glad you wound up winning the ship, and hopefully this year we take some more ships. Yeah, I mean, Ferguson, if you're going to wait on tight end, like Ferguson is kind of like the latest I like to wait for. Like Ferguson, Joku, and like I feel a lot more comfortable with Ferguson. If you miss on those guys, like tight end gets kind of ugly. Gavin said JT the RB1 this season. I don't know if he can be the RB1, but he can be close to it. He can be top 5 for sure. I'm not sleeping on JT as like most people are. I think he's still going to be, a top 5-ish running back. All right, so you still got your 10 man. And what's with the 10 mans? Like we got to get more on the 12 mans. There's just too many decisions to make on the 10 man because the bench is always good. Everybody's team is good. Mahomes, Brees, Gibbs, Debo, Ridley, McBride, Higgins. Debo, Ridley. I don't love the wide receivers. You got Brees and Gibbs. So I like that, especially in a 10 man. Bench, you got Monty, Ford, Elliott, Reed, Herbert, Goddard, and Polk. Okay. It's not bad. I would just love to upgrade at wide receiver. Can you move Ridley and Debo, Ridley and Reed, Higgins and Reed? To be honest, you don't need Herbert on the bench unless that's running back Herbert, but I don't think so. If that's Justin Herbert, like you can just pick up another running back and or wide receiver, something that can give you some ammunition to trade. Goddard, same thing. I mean, you got McBride, so just fill that in on that bye week. Just means Kyron will be in on the passing third downs. Cora might be the Monty of the offense. No, I don't think it's that serious. I don't think so. I'm not going for that. I don't think that's it at all. I think that knowing that Kyron is the only guy and he got hurt last year, you need somebody else that can take his place if he goes down again. And you also want to keep him healthy at the same time. So if you don't have to play him 100% of the snaps, then that could be healthy. Cryptics at 10, moving to 12 next year. After 10 mans, 12 mans, we need the 16 mans. People need to start thinking, yeah, listen, the more players that are in the league, the more players that you have to start, right? The deeper the leagues, the more strategy it becomes, and it's not just kind of all luck, right? So, Simp, what up, Simp? Richardson, AJ, London, Flex Adams, Diggs, RBs, Barkley, Mostert, tight end, Kincaid, bench. Pickens, Eckler, AD Mitchell, BTJ, Trey Benson, Caleb, and Brooks. 12 team full PPR. I love the wide receivers. I love the running backs too. You got A Rich, Caleb on the bench just in case he gets hurt. You got Benson. You still got Pickens. Yeah, I like the squad. And you got Brooks on IR, so nice. Yeah, I like it. You got Eckler and Benson just in case Mostert goes down. Is it even worth to carry Caleb though? Like what quarterbacks are out there on the waiver wire? Like, are the Jared Goffs and Tuas like? Are there some decent quarterbacks that are out there on the waiver wire? Because read the league, right? You only need a quarterback if Richardson gets hurt or in the bye week, right? But if some of these other quarterbacks are out there on the waivers, then it doesn't make sense to carry Caleb, right? Pick up another running back that's out there. Yeah, I like the squad, Simp. It's a good squad. What'd you think about Adams this season? I picked him late second with hopes of trading him if he goes off. Yeah, I don't like Adams, especially in the second round of redrafts. I just actually posted something about it, but yeah, I don't love it in the second round. I just think that if I'm spending my second round pick, like I want it to be on somebody that I have confidence in, and somebody in a good offense, right? I don't want to waste that such a valuable pick on somebody that's not in a great offense. And it's not that Devontae can't be top 10 or top 12. It's not like he can't pull it off, but I'd just rather take my chances on someone else. Give me the Drake London, right? And the better offense. Think I can get Chase right now. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, people freak out all the time, so you could always try and take advantage. Eighth pick, my first four picks were St. Brown, Puka, Chan, White. St. Brown, Puka, Chan, and White. That's good value on Chan PPR. So what you think? I like it, Caps. St. Brown, Puka, Chan, White. It's not bad at all. You got Achan at a pretty good value. You got White at a pretty good value. Got two top wide receivers in St. Brown and Puka. Like a 10 man is too little when you see the 8-man league. I mean, is it even worth it to do an 8-man league? I just can't see how it's as fun, I guess. But I mean, if you're playing with your family or friends, I guess that's what makes it better. I have T was wondering if Chase doesn't play, would I start T over Rice? That's a good question, but the problem is you're not going to know because Rice plays on Thursday. You're not going to know, so you just have to play Rice. Can't find anyone else willing to pay the buy-in. I feel you. I feel you, Cat. You picked up Tay in the mid third. Yeah, I don't mind that value. Is Gibbs too much for Chase? This is the 10-man league. No, I would say they're just about even-ish in a 10-man. It's kind of just, who would you rather want? I mean, Gibbs is awesome. He's going to be catching passes as well. I mean, that offense we know is going to be good. Laporte is going to get his. Amon-Ra is going to get his. Monty's going to get his. Gibbs is going to get his. I mean, we saw it last year. They all got theirs. I mean, and Gibbs he wasn't even really playing the first like 4 weeks. Then he missed a game or two on top of that. So, yeah, if he can stay healthy, I mean, I love Gibbs this year, especially when he was kind of falling until like the early second round because of the injury. So if people are a little bit worried about his injury coming in, you can try and snag him. Doug, what up, Doug? Like pop time, yes sir. But yeah, who you guys think is taking this first game? I mean, Ravens or Chiefs? And it's kind of bullshit. It's on Peacock too, but you got Mahomes with arguably the best receiving core he's kind of ever had. Granted, they're pretty young, other than Kelsey, of course. Okay. It's on NBC too. Okay, okay, I see that. It's about to say they make us get all these different damn streaming services now. Mm. But Chiefs were a pretty good defense last year, right? What is Derrick Henry going to do in his first game? Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, right? And then we've got a game on Friday also, right? Packers Eagles. So you've got, what could be the workhorse in Josh Jacobs for the Packers, and then the Eagles with that new offense with Kellen Moore. I mean, I think the Eagles could have one of the number one offense this year, or one of the top offenses. Obviously, they've been had some of the top offenses, but I feel like they could be throwing the ball a little bit more, like moving around AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Like that's gonna be lethal. And then you got Saquon also. I'm excited for the wide receivers. 8-man league, you got Josh, Kyron, Henry, Chase, Rushy, Joku, flexes, Devonta, benches, Ayuk, Chase Brown, Connor, JD5, Goddard, T, and Watson. Okay. Just keep doing kind of what we did last year, right? Same kind of thing. Just keep trying to tier up. Keep trying to tier up, especially in those shallow leagues. Cryptics, why don't you like Henry? I mean, we saw Gus Edwards bang in 13 tutties last year. We think Henry is better than Gus Edwards. I think so. I mean, that should be at least like 15 tutties right there. Not to mention the yards that he's going to get, if not even more tutties. Lamar Jackson only ran in 5 tutties last year. I mean, he's not running in tutties as much as, some people might think. So he's not taking anything really away from Henry. I mean, it's a good offense. They're going to be down at the goal line. So Henry, I think, could absolutely kill. And I'm just not. I don't want to bet against the king. The guy is just. He's an alien. I don't care how old he is. Look at the shape that he's in. I mean, is he gonna break down sooner or later? Like, yes, Father Time is gonna catch him, but until that happens, like I'm gonna still roll with Henry. I'm okay with him, dying on your squad, especially in Dynasty. Already said he's coming for the ship. I feel you, Marty. Go for it, dogs. Go for it. Man, I still can't believe I was 1 point away from the damn ship last year in that particular league. Hi, Dub. What up? Ravens win 2 TDs for Henry. I could see that. I think we could all see that. Yeah, Hurts at QB. I mean, I don't know why people are kind of off Hurts a little bit, or were off Hurts a little bit in the off season. I mean, I know they didn't finish hot as an offense, just in general, the last whole second half of the season. But the guy's been QB2 and QB3 the last 2 years. Like Frank said, he likes Baltimore. Okay, KC always starts kind of slow. Cap said Kyler, Rashard White, Achan, Ramondre, Monty, Pollard, Brooks, St. Brown, Puka, McLaurin, Kirk, Shakir, Ingram, Bowers, whole team PPR. Okay, I like the squad. I like the squad, Caps. Lamar will take TDs and rushes. Well, I think I just kind of spoke on that, but yeah, he doesn't take really the goal line rushes, or not anymore. Not what we used to be, or what we thought. Like I said last year, I think he only ran in 5 TDs. Somebody double check me on that, but I'm pretty sure. And we saw Gus Edwards running 13. So, I mean, same thing with Jalen Hurts. Like we saw Miles Sanders running double-digit touchdowns. So who's to think that Saquon can't still get double-digit touchdowns? He's way better than Miles Sanders ever was, right? So, I mean, same thing with Jonathan Taylor. Like, yes, Anthony Richardson is a running quarterback, but you still got guys getting double-digit touchdowns even with rushing quarterbacks. So, don't mind Henry. I want Pacheco, but he was snagged early. Yeah, like for me, like I want Henry over Pacheco. Like I'm not taking Pacheco over Henry. I do like Pacheco this year. There is a chance he gets a massive workload, but there's a chance Mahomes just throws in 50 tutties, and Pacheco isn't getting all the goal line carries. Biggest mental gymnastic I had to do in that 16-team startup was the steep QB drop off. Yeah, for sure. From the known to unknown. Absolutely. From Purdy Golf, then May. Chose Laporta over May. Felt wrong, but tight end premium. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. That's always a tough part, especially when you're playing more than 12 team, 14 or 16 team, and it's super flex. Like I'm just snagging 2 quarterbacks right off the bat, probably. Unless there's a massive drop off where I might get kind of the same talent on the way back, but that's tough. And the QBs are juiced to the max 6 point passing touchdown. So yeah, for sure, I would have just went, QB 1 and 2. Upgrade from Watson, add a first. I mean, you could. It's a 16 team, so you could say like the first are a little bit more devalued, right? So what can you get for Watson in the first? I mean, that's the biggest question: is how far up are we getting? Because I where Watson is valued right now is pretty low, but I think that he's not going to be as bad as people think. I mean, he's like QB 20 something right now on Keep Trade Cut, which is just ridiculous. Um, so like if I'm adding a first, like I want to get into like the top 10ish, top 12ish kind of range. Otherwise I'll just roll with Watson, hold on to your first. Astros, 10 team PPR, Mahomes, Gibbs, Jacobs, Puka, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Tank Dell, and Bears defense. Mahomes, Gibbs, Jacobs, Puka, London, Pitts. Yeah, I like it. You going with London? You got London and Pitts and Tank Dell to go with Puka and then Jacobs and Gibbs. Yeah, I mean it's a 10-man, so I mean you're strong. You got an advantage at quarterback. You got some advantage at running backs. I mean at tight end. So yeah, I mean I like the squad. It's a good squad, Astros. I'd probably say it's like I mean if a 10-man league, probably say it's like an 8. It's a good squad. I mean most of the squads are going to be pretty good, but you've got a squad that can keep up at least. Couple top teams this year. It looks like. Yeah, Marty. Yep. I don't know. He's on my squad in that particular league. I don't know if he's going to play week 1 or not. I highly doubt he misses week 1. I think they'll get something together before then, but you never know. You never know. William, what up, William? Sometimes I do. It really depends. I don't do it a lot at all. Every once in a while I do. Hammer, the co-host who's not here tonight, typically he does a lot of the betting stuff, but he'll be on I think Saturday. We'll hop on Saturday before Sunday, go over some more start sits and all. 16 team QB. Oh yeah, we talked about that. War is crazy for QB. Yeah, so that's why it's even more important to get some of those top QBs. If you can get 2 top QBs in a 16 team, I mean, you're basically like already like almost in contention. No, I don't got YouTube TD. I don't do Sunday ticket. I do red zone. I do red zone. Should I start Neighbors or wait to see how the Giants offense look? It all depends on who's your other option, right? Who else can you start ahead of Neighbors? I mean, we kind of like where Neighbors win in drafts. He kind of is almost like a must start. But again, it depends. How deep is your league, right? Who are your other options that you can play? I'm okay with, like I said, sit Neighbors. I think earlier in this stream for somebody, but I think they were like Rashid Rice was a choice. There were a couple good choices. So like in that case, like yeah, I'm okay with sitting Neighbors to wait, but it just depends who you have. If you got Jahan Dotson on the bench, like we're not playing him over Neighbors. But let me know, Escobar. Smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Who you got for last roster spot? Now I have JMO, Rico, Jalen Wright, Lloyd, and Bucky on waivers. I mean, Jalen Wright and Lloyd probably should not be on waivers. I mean, they're running backs. JMO is going to be replaceable. Like that production is replaceable. So I mean, even Rico, like I want the running backs. Give me the running backs that have a chance to break out, that have a chance to like lead the running back room if injuries happen, right? Then other teams are going to want some of those guys as well. So now you've got some trade value. So yeah, I'm not going to just hold JMO on my last spot on the bench, for no reason. You're never going to play him. You're never going to be able to guess which game he's going to catch the bomb, right? Kind of like Gabe Davis-ish. Like we don't know how consistent he's going to be. So yeah, give me like of all those guys, I'll probably just take Rico because there's nobody else really in the Cowboys room. Lloyd, we kind of have to hope for a Jacobs injury, right? We've got to hope for a Achan or a Mostert injury. Rico is kind of getting work right off the bat. And Bucky, of course, we need a Rashard White injury. So I'd go Rico, Lloyd, and Wright, or Rico, Wright, and Lloyd, and some in that kind of order. If you've got an extra quarterback on your bench, if you got an extra tight end on your bench, drop those guys and pick up the other running backs that are there. Rico Dowdle, RB1. Which defense to stream? Chicago versus Tennessee, Tampa versus Washington, Chargers versus Vegas, Giants versus Minnesota. I'd probably go with either Chicago or Tampa, and I'd probably roll with Chicago, to be honest. Or you could say Tampa. I mean, Washington doesn't have much. Tennessee too. I'd probably just roll with Chicago. I have the team whose QB hoardings 25 first. Should I offer him Watson in his own first back for Caleb. Yeah, I'd be okay with doing that because you're getting into that top tier there. His team is just straight up QBs: Caleb Purdy, May Young. Yeah, you can see if he'll fall for that. Yeah, see if he'll fall for it. Probably thinking everyone's gonna go. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, nobody's. People are gonna probably be going to him desperately. It's just not that time yet because we haven't started the actual season. Nobody necessarily needs a quarterback at the moment because everybody's healthy. But once, guys start getting hurt, once we start playing in the season, there'll be guys probably knocking on that door. It's just a matter of like how much patience can that guy have? Like, is he gonna take the first and Watson for Caleb? Like, does it make sense for him to do that? Four wide receivers, one QB, one RB on my bench, Cryptic said. Yeah, what's the QB on your bench? Can you just drop the QB? Tell Rashard White and T. Higgins for Achan. Is that even worth it? I don't even know if that's worth it. Right? Rashard White is pretty safe. Like there's nobody else there. It's still Baker Mayfield. He's still gonna drop the ball down underneath to Rashard White. He's gonna get a ton of receptions. There's only Bucky Irving back there. It's not like there's another other running back that's really good between the tackles. I mean, Bucky Irving's like a miniature Rashard White to me, basically. Like I like Achan, don't get me wrong, but like Rashard White was a top 10 running back last year. I mean, granted, he may not give you, 50-point weeks like Achan can, but yeah, I probably wouldn't do that for Achan Cryptics. It's Drake May. Listen, don't worry about your squad and your Drake May fan and Pats fan. You got to play fantasy. Take advantage of every little thing that you can. It's so hard to win a fantasy championship or a dynasty championship, right? It's so hard to actually win. So, the little things that can help you win, like not wasting a roster spot, right, on a backup quarterback or tight end, especially if you have an elite one, right? Hold one of those other running backs. There's no reason why Jalen Wright is just sitting out there, on waivers or some of these other backup running backs. All it takes is one injury, and then they become that league winning running back, right? Just think about it. Mostert goes down, and then like Jalen Wright comes in. He could be a league winning running back. We saw how many touchdowns Mostert put up last year, right? And then it's on to the next one. So hold those dudes. Start two: Devonta, Ayuk, Rashi. Um, who's Ayuk playing? Playing the Jets. Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument for Davanta and Rashid and sit Ayuk because they're playing the Jets, which is a pretty good defense. A few different guys on the Niners to spread the ball around to. Packers could play a little bit too. Yeah, I might be sitting Ayuk there. I might be sitting Ayuk, especially with Hollywood not playing. So let's sit Ayuk. Let's sit Ayuk there. Sam, what up, Sam? I'll not be able to sleep tomorrow. I know. I know. Athletes have picked up Ray Davis, Estime, and Vidal off waivers. Good. Would you drop any of them for Steele? Maybe Estime, just because Steele is playing on the way better offense. So if I had to choose one, I'd say Steele. Roman Wilson and Javon Baker are also hanging out on waivers. I mean, I'm not too interested in those guys at the moment, Javon Baker could emerge, but it might take, a few games or maybe the second half of the season. Roman Wilson, same kind of situation, but they're both just not great offenses. That's why they're out there on waivers as well. Like, when are you ever going to play those guys? I'd rather hold the running backs, like I was just talking about, than the wide receivers, because that's just replaceable production, right? The running backs, people are going to need running backs. Damn, 2 out of 3. Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy, Scary Terry. Oof. Um, Scary Terry playing. The Bucks. Hmm. And again, Keon Coleman's first game. Xavier Worthy, same thing. I like Worthy just because obviously, Hollywood is not there. Now they are playing a good defense in the Ravens, like we talked about this a little bit earlier. But do they try and manufacture some touches for him? Probably go probably go Terry and Worthy, take my chances on without Coleman for the first game. Terry is the only dude there. So give me Terry and Worthy. We'll sit Coleman for that first game. It's a tough one though. Were you ever from Minnesota? How did you become a Vikings fan? No, I'm not from Minnesota. Originally from New York City. I became a Minnesota Vikings fan because my mother's favorite color was purple, and I was probably, I don't know, 5, 6 years old maybe. We were in a restaurant and the purple team was playing, which was the Vikings. That was Randy Moss, Chris Carter, back in those days. And ever since then, I've been a diehard Viking fan. Dylan, what up, Dylan? Who's pumped about week one? Let's go. Yes, we're finally back, bro. It's been a while since I've had to set lineups and kind of got to get back into the swing of those. My apologies. My options to start. No, all good, Escobar. Don't gotta apologize, brother. My options to start are Neighbors, Higgins, or Pickens as a wide receiver too. Yeah, so I'd be playing either Higgins or Pickens. Um, over Neighbors for sure. I probably prefer Higgins, especially with Chase. We don't really know that situation. Falcons, I think, are going to have a pretty decent defense, so I'd probably go with Higgins for just the first game. See what the Giants wind up doing. But I'm okay if you wind up just playing Neighbors. But I'll take the good offense in the Bengals and roll with Higgins for at least this first game. I have those two in right now. Thanks for that advice. Yeah, appreciate you, Sam. No problem, bro. And listen, after week one, after week two, after week three, like we're gonna have a little bit more of a clearer picture on kind of who's the guys we should be starting, who's kind of acclimated into the offense already, who might take a little bit longer. So yeah, shout out to Moms and Randy Moss. Yeah, man, always been Randy Moss forever. Favorite player by far. Start Rice or Waddle. Now that's a good one. That's a good one. Again, Hollywood is out, right? Is Rice kind of that guy that's going to be that wide receiver one for them? Now, again, they are playing the Ravens, who is a little bit better of a defense. Um, if you're going by just where you picked them, for sure starting Waddle over Rice, but and they are playing the Jags in Miami. Man, it's tough. I still think I want to go Rice though. We might want to see it from Waddle first. I'm still gonna go Rice. Let's go Rice, Dylan. It's tough. Now, if Hollywood was playing the first game, I probably would not be going with Rice. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Dylan. But now, guess what? Now we are actually in the season. Now, like points are going to be put on the board, and like Rashid Rice puts up points. I mean, the reason why Rice was falling so much in drafts was because people were unsure about the suspension. That was really the only reason. Because if it wasn't for anything about the suspension, Rice will probably be going in that same area as Waddle. You know? But yeah, missing Hammer tonight. He's out doing some kind of family thing, so he'll be with us Saturday night. We'll be on Saturday night, possibly Friday. We'll see. But yeah, what other questions y'all got? Throw them out in the chat before I get up out of here soon. Answering all questions, dynasty, redraft, player take, strategy, whatever it is. Throw it out there. Smash that like for me, guys, if you haven't yet. If you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe as well. Appreciate it. It's free. Just hit that little subscribe button. But yeah, we're officially back. Officially back week 1. And we still got questions about damn, Jamar Chase and CD Lamb if it wasn't for, a few days, but if Chase don't start, Rashi and Devonta would start, so would I flex Connor over Ayuk? Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, Connor's been putting up massive points like when he plays. So I feel like Connor is relatively safe. I don't know if I would play him over Ayuk, but yeah, I probably will play Connor. Hard though to not go with the right wide receiver. I mean, he just got paid, right? But again, they are playing the Jets, so it's not a great matchup. I mean, Ayuk is one of the, top wide receivers and great route runners, but yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Connor over him at least for week 1, going against the Jets. Dylan said, "Take on Pitts. I drafted him thinking he'll change." Well, make sure you follow on Instagram because I think I posted a couple things on Instagram about him. But yeah, I think he's going to kill it this year. I mean, he's playing more outside wide receiver as well. He was playing in the slot even a lot more last year. Also, he just they couldn't get the ball to him. And Kirk Cousins has, predominantly always gotten the football to his tight end or his best playmakers, wide receivers as well. So I think it's going to be a lot better of an offense. And I think Pitts has the possibility to finish as tight end 1. I mean, he's healthy now, so we get to see him in action and get to prove everybody wrong. He just needs a quarterback. And, Kirk Cousins is that guy. We've seen what he can do with Hawkinson. We've seen what he can do with JJ. Even back in Washington when he had, Jordan Reed, right? So, yeah, I love Pitts this year, especially where he's being drafted. Like, people are still sleeping on him. Like, you don't have to take Laporta so early. Like, you can wait and get guys like Kyle Pitts or Jake Ferguson if you want to wait longer, right? McBride is even at a great price as well. Parker, what up, Parker? Appreciate you. Should I start Devonta Smith, Sutton, or Flowers? I'm gonna go with Devonta. I'm gonna go with Devonta. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. I mean, I love the offense. They're going against the Packers. Packers got a pretty good offense as well. I'm not going with Sutton for sure. Flowers is a conversation, but I think Devonta has just way more upside. Flowers is more of a kind of PPR guy, and Devonta Smith could be hit or miss too, right? You still got AJ Brown there. You got Saquon, but I'm still gonna roll with Devonta there. Is there a kind of thing sometimes when a player gets paid, he gets worse? I mean, if he's older or it's just not a good situation. I mean, it all depends. George, play. What up, George? Can you rate my team? Yeah, throw your team out there. I'll check it out real quick. But yeah, now that we're in the first, the first week of the season, there's going to be a lot of, check out my team. So yeah, throw your teams out there. I'll check them out. Like when they just get in the league, they are hungry to prove themselves. Yeah, of course. You want to prove yourself so you can get that, so you can get paid. Because, like, if you don't prove yourself, then you don't get paid. And then they just like release you or trade you off somewhere. We see that all the time. And sometimes players are good, but they just wind up going to not good situations. And then they turn into nothing, or coaches get fired and it's a new regime that comes in. It's not the same coaches that drafted you and believed in you. Biggest rookie sleeper? Well, quarterback is for sure. I mean, Jaden Daniels. I don't know if necessarily you want to call it a sleeper, but Keon Coleman. I mean, where he's being drafted, like the value that you can get, that where you drafted Keon Coleman compared to like the upside that he has and what he can do in that particular offense with nobody else there and a ton of vacated targets. Like, I kind of really like Coleman, even though I don't love like that he has to play outside or play the XY receiver. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of deploy him, but he is a freak athlete. Josh Allen can extend plays, so I think that he can do good for sure, especially since where he was drafted. So what up, growing stuff? What's goody, man? PPR pick one, Ridley, Pickens, or Terry. Um, I'm either going Pickens or Terry. I'm probably just gonna go with Terry. Give me Terry on that one. I mean, I think they're all kind of relatively the same, so I don't know. You can't really go wrong either way. Pickens obviously has the highest upside, like he can straight destroy a week, but he also has kind of a low floor too. But yeah, give me Terry. High dub said sit one flex for week one. Mostert, Cooper, Higgins, Neighbors. We just kind of went over something similar to this. I'll probably sit Neighbors week one. You're not sitting Mostert. You're not sitting Cooper. Between Higgins and Neighbors, and I'll probably just say Neighbors because it's just a worse offense. And we kind of want to see how they're going to try and get him the football, if they can even get him the football. So let's sit Neighbors for week one. I can live with that. 12 team non PPR. We got Murray, Barkley, Gibbs, Moore, Waddle, Kittle, Flex, Javante, bench, Cousins, Brian Robinson, Trey Benson, Corum, Jalen Wright, Flowers, Mitchell, and Brian Thomas Jr. All right, not bad. Is AD Mitchell worth it though to even have on the bench? Like, can you trade him? Like, you still got Brian Thomas over there. Well, you still because you got Flowers on the bench too. So I'd probably flex Flowers over Javante until Javante can prove that he can actually do something in that horrible offense. So Brian Thomas is a good pick too. I really like Brian Thomas this year. Unluckiest fantasy moment for you when Javante kind of tore his whole shit. I mean that one season. It was Cheetah's first year on the Dolphins, so this was before they wound up playing the game. And I've talked about this quite a few times. But in Dynasty, I traded Cheetah for Javante because Javante was like a top 5 running back at that time. He was going to break out, and then Cheetah wind up on having a crazy season, and then Javante wind up tearing up his knee. So that was probably like one of the shittiest moments I had. Song, what up, Song? Appreciate you, bro. Reese, what's up, Reese? Jets or Seahawks or Browns for defense? Jets, probably not the Jets because they're playing San Fran, even though Seahawks or Browns? Browns playing the Cowboys. Surprise! I play the Seahawks against the Broncos. Give me that. Let's just play the odds, right? Bad offense. Just give me the Seahawks. Picked AG because Josh Downs is injured. I don't mind it, but Josh Downs will be back sooner or later. Like you're not gonna play AD before that, so save the roster spot. Like especially a guy like AD, like that production is replaceable. Like he's not this wide receiver that's gonna go out there and have 100 yards a game. Like that's just not gonna happen. So he's a replaceable guy. So you can pick up anybody off of waivers that can put up the same production as AD. So instead of wasting the roster space on a wide receiver like that, just pick up a running back instead that can give you more value. We see all these running backs getting hurt, right? We saw last year Zach Moss coming in, Jerome Ford, right? We see what these injuries can do. So just stash some of those running backs instead of some of those roster clogger wide receivers where you can just pick up anybody. No, George, I'm not saying to drop them for a wide receiver. They're all the same. Those guys are all the same. They're just replaceable wide receiver production. Pick up a running back instead. What running backs are out there on the waiver wire? Pick up a running back. Don't get another wide receiver. I'm saying don't carry that extra wide receiver. There's no reason to carry AD Mitchell or Shaheed for that matter, unless it's a deep league. Gross tight end question: Henry or Musgrave? Give me Henry. I mean, you're playing with Brissett, like the veteran. I mean, you still got the other tight end over there in Green Bay as well. Like, how are they going to wind up divvying that up? I'll take my chances on Henry. There's not a ton of great talent over there. So give me Henry. Friend traded a boatload for Andrew Luck a week before he retired. Oh man, I know that gotta hurt. I know that had to hurt for sure. That sucks. I mean, we were all kind of shocked with the whole Andrew Luck thing. But I mean, Cardinals Bills is a game that I'm excited about to see. Trey McBride, to see Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray, and then to see the kind of what the Bills are going to do offensively, right? Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, how are they going to be, involved in the offense? So I'm excited for that game. I'm excited to see Joe Burrow back. I mean, hopefully Chase is back as well, but yeah. All right, guys. Throw any last questions you guys got in the chat before I go. Make sure I answer everybody. And don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you guys are new. Appreciate y'all. Throw any and all questions in the chat. Dynasty, redraft, about your team, trade, strategy, whatever. Reese said 10 man, rate the team. Richardson, Jacobs, Stevenson, Adams, AJ Brown, Pitts, Chase. Okay, so you got Chase, AJ Brown, and Devontae Adams. I like that to go along with Pitts. Anthony Richardson at quarterback, Jacobs and Stevenson. I like it. I'll probably say that's a 8.5. And nobody's ever going to get a 10. So don't ever expect a 10. But yeah, you got 8.5. It's a good squad. I like it. But yeah, game on Thursday night. Let's see what Mahomes and company does. Let's see what Worthy does. Kelsey, Derrick Henry. We've got the game on Friday night. We'll be live on Saturday night. And then Sunday morning probably as well. I mean, shit, it's the first week of football. We're back. We are back. I mean, Packers Eagles going to be a good game too. I mean, I like that we get to start off at least the first week of football, Thursday and Friday. We're getting two games and two good games at that. So There's only a few 4 o'clock games on Sunday as well. But yeah, we'll be in there watching Red Zone, watching our fantasy squads. I gotta go through all my lineups, make sure everything is set. Make sure all y'all do the same, especially for, if you guys are like me where you just have a lot of leagues. You got to make sure we set everything. And typically I'll do that like Wednesday. I'll do that Wednesday night or some point on Wednesday midday or Wednesday night. Um, make sure everything is set for Thursday. And then typically I'll do my rosters Saturday night as well. This way I don't really have to touch it Sunday because typically Sundays we are live in the morning right before kickoff. So been on the channel for 2 years. Dylan said, appreciate all the help. Well, Dylan, I appreciate you, bro. It's been an awesome 2 years with you on the channel and everybody else, as well. A lot of you guys have been with us for a year or two now. And we are continuing, we're continuing to grow. We do have a Discord now as well. It's a free Discord. A lot of Dynasty stuff going on there, but I'm putting, we have redraft as well there. So we'll put start sits there as well. So if you can't catch me, live, you guys can at least in the chat, you can put any questions that you guys have. Let me get the link to that. Is a lineup advice section. I'll probably add a start sit section. This way, you guys can put start sits in there. Could put start sits in there as well. Putting the link in the chat, so make sure you guys join. It is free. We've got, I think, almost 70-ish people in there. So we are growing it a little bit. Everybody's helping each other out because I can't get to everybody, unfortunately. So we have, everybody kind of helps each other out in the community. So just trying to grow that. Appreciate everybody in there. Dole Guitar, what up, Dole? Dynasty start 9, QB Hertz, RB 1 and 2, Hall and Brees. Our receiver 1 and 2, Puka Amon-Ra, tight end 1, Joku, have to start 3 flex. Harrison, Olave, Rice. I mean, shit, that's an awesome squad. Yeah, I mean, you've got it built out with wide receivers, but you also have the top running backs as well. Is this a 10 team or a 12 team guitar? I mean, you've got basically the best running backs, 2 of the top, arguably 6, 7 dynasty wide receivers. You've got a fine tight end, especially if it's not tight end premium. And you've got 3 flexes that are all could be, wide receiver 1s, wide receiver 2s. So, or you got JT and Brees. Okay, that's fine. You still got 2 top running backs, 12 team. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you're looking good. There's nothing much to even change, bro. I mean, you've got everything pretty much worked out. I mean, Rice is your fucking 5th wide receiver. I mean, Olave is your 4th wide receiver. Like, you're absolutely fine. There's nothing really to change here, except for maybe try and upgrade at tight end. Like, I'm not sure who else you have on your bench, but you probably wouldn't even do that. It's not even worth it to upgrade at tight end almost. So yeah, you're good. You're good, Guitar. I love the squad, by the way. Appreciate you, bro. Josh, what up, Josh? 16-man PPR. Dak and Caleb, awesome. Achan, Zeke, CD, DJ Moore, Joku, and Dell. I like it, especially for a 16 team. I mean, you got a pretty good squad for a 16 team. I would have never guessed it was 16 team with some of the guys you have here, but yeah, I like it, man. I like it. That's a good squad. All right, last call. Any questions? Throw them out there quick before I hop up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming out again as usual. Still have Odunze and Reed on the bench and have two firsts for next year. So, I mean, listen, in that case, like you've got some ammunition. Can you tier up at tight end from that point, right? Can you go after, a Mark Andrews, right? He's a little bit cheaper probably. Can you get a McBride? Can Odunze and Rashid Rice, right? Can you get or Olave, whatever. I mean, can you get a Justin Jefferson? Can you get a CeeDee Lamb? Right? Can you tier up from there? I mean, that's all you're really doing now is just consolidating all that bench stuff, consolidate all of those picks also. I mean, it's only one QB, so like you're fine with Hurts. You don't need to worry there. You can improve at running back, basically. Yeah, use what you can and try and tier up. That's all. Right, my team, Jordan Love, Barkley, Henry. Man, I love that running back room. And you got Kamara, you got Cup, McLaurin, Ridley. So McLaurin, Ridley, Pickens is where it gets a little bit risky, but like as long as Cup stays healthy, you should be fine. BTJ, Blake Corum, Trey Benson, Charbonnet, Golf, Hunter Henry, Mitchell on IR. Yeah, I like the squad. I like the squad. If I had to rate it, I'd probably say like an 8. I mean, you're heavy at running back, which is fine. Like, I'm not sure how deep it is. How many wide receivers can you start? Can you start 3 wide receivers or 4 wide receivers? But yeah, I mean, your running backs are going to carry you. That's what you're hoping for instead of the other way around. So I got no problem with the squad. I like it. And you've got like 3 workhorse running backs, like Barkley, Henry, and Kamara are workhorse guys. These could be all 3, top 10 running backs, top 8 running backs, 12 teams. So you could only start 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So you can only start 3 wide receivers. I probably just start the 3 running backs. So 2 running backs and then one of the other guy in the flex. And then you've got Cup and you can play McLaurin or Pickens or Ridley. Can you tier up? Can you combine a couple guys over here? Brian Thomas and Pickens to tier up. Brian Thomas, Pickens, and Ridley to tier up. I mean, give up what you can, but is somebody a little bit weak at wide receiver, or maybe you're running back, right? Can you give up one of the running backs for a top wide receiver? All right, let me get up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Smash the like for me. Smash that subscribe again if you're new. Discord is in the chat, and we'll be back. We'll be back Saturday night. If you need me in the meantime, you can find me on Instagram or in the Discord. So hit me. Did Chase sign? No, Chase did not sign yet. What up, Watt? Chase did not sign yet, that I know of, unless he signed like while I was live on this live stream. But that would be the only way. He should sign before the season. I highly doubt he actually misses a game, but it is in the realm of possibility. Peace out, Sam. Appreciate you. See you this weekend, if not this week. Yeah, I probably won't be on for the rest of the week. It'll be probably just Saturday, Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, we did do it. We did do it, fellas. Football is back. But yeah, again, appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all Saturday.